In this video, we are going to talk about 5 big mistakes to avoid during your N-400 interview. What is N-400? Application for naturalization. Form N-400 is used to apply for U.S. citizenship through naturalization process. Lawful permanent residents of the United States who meet the eligibility requirements can file N-400 form to request citizenship. The N-400 naturalization interview is a very important part in getting a U.S. citizenship for immigrants. To some applicants, it took them years to get it, and while some had been denied, there were also those who had been immediately approved. So to avoid the worst possibilities, you need to prepare yourself thoroughly for this interview several days ahead, because if you know what to do, what to say, and what to expect, you are more likely to have a successful interview and the higher chances in having your application for USCIS immediately approved. All you need to do is to prepare and to try to avoid mistakes that could ruin your application for naturalization. Visit us at Swat&Vee channel with your questions to see how best we can help you out with your immigration process. Please don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel. For a successful N-400 interview, let's go over the 5 big mistakes applicants make during the naturalization experience, so you can avoid making such mistakes. 1. Failing to review your N-400 application for immigration form. Immigration officers usually ask several questions based on the applicant's N-400 information. So if your answer will be inconsistent or different from the information you provided in your application, this could make you look suspicious, and the officer may examine you further or may even deny your application. Since you have submitted your N-400 application months before your appointment, there is a big possibility that you may not remember every single detail of what you wrote in there during your interview. So to prevent that, you must spend some time reviewing, studying, and updating this copy of your N-400 before your interview appointment, since most of the questions the immigration officer will ask you refers to the information on your application. For example, the immigration officer may ask you the total number of trips that you have taken outside the United States, especially during the last 5 years. This includes the purpose of your travel and the place where you have stayed. You need to know the details of your trips accurately, starting from your most recent trip and backwards. The officer may also ask you where you have worked, in which companies or establishments, or what your current job is, and if you work either part-time or full-time. You may also be asked to provide accurate information for the complete time period of your employment in the United States. If your questions such as how many children do you have and what are their dates of birth, or how do you spell their names. You may even be asked about your height and feet, not in centimeters, or your weight in pounds, not in kilos. So in order for you to remember every details accurately, you must study and review your N-400 form thoroughly. 2. Not making a list of changes. If you have any changes made lately prior to your interview, such as a new house address, you will need to inform the immigration officer of these changes, including the exact address and date when you moved in your new residence. If there is any changes other than just your address, then it would be better to make a list so that you can provide the officer accurate and updated information about the changes. For example, if you have moved more than once, you need to list down every address where you have lived during the last 5 years prior to filing your N-400 application. Make sure to also provide your mailing address if it is different from your current home address, and also don't forget to provide documentation copies to the immigration officer to supplement these changes. 3. Not bringing the original and supporting documents. When you show up for your interview, you must be ready to provide the original and certified copies of your documentation as evidence in case the officer asks for your documents. That's because providing the important documentation is one of the major reasons why they call you for an interview at USCIS office. So the immigration officer will usually ask to see the original copies you submitted with your N-400 application. Failure to bring the original certified copies and other supporting documents may result in having your interview postponed or rescheduled, which could usually delay the processing of your U.S. citizenship. This could even give you a negative impression to the interviewing officer. So in worst cases, the officer may even deny your application. So to avoid this mistake, make sure to gather and prepare all your necessary documents early on. Example of these are the original and certified copies of your birth certificate, marriage certificate, annulment decree, divorce certificate, and copies of recent year's tax returns, among others. Place them in a folder carefully and bring it with you on the day of your interview, along with your permanent resident or alien registration card, your passport if you have any, including the expired ones, any re-entry permits if you have any government issued ID, such as your driver's license, and your interview notice. From the USCIS, you should refer to your interview notice to check out the list of other documents required for you to bring on your interview day. Keeping your documentation well organized means you are well prepared, and it could leave a positive impression on the immigration officer. And lastly, don't forget to bring a black or blue ink pen for signing documents. 4. Arriving late for your interview. If your name is called and you do not appear at the time of your interview appointment, the immigration officer assigned to interview you may consider that you have abandoned your application. So unless you are able to provide a valid reason, your application may be denied and you will have to file a new application again. On the other hand, if your reason has been accepted and the officer decides to reschedule an interview, this could also deny your naturalization because it takes several months to do this process. So to avoid this problem, be sure to arrive at least 15 to 20 minutes before your scheduled appointment, so you will have enough time to park your car and go through a security check upon entering the USCIS office. This could also help calm your nerves and will allow you to feel more relaxed knowing that you have arrived early and prepared. 5. Not telling the truth. Giving false information can have a severe negative impact on your application for U.S. citizenship. And if the interviewing USCIS officer, for instance, believe that you lied or have provided deceptive information during your naturalization interview, this may result to having your application for citizenship automatically denied. Remember that the USCIS will review and provide a background check on all its immigration applicants. So once it is determined that you have provided untruthful or deceptive information, don't expect a positive outcome. So be very honest with your answers and always make sure that all the information you have provided is true and accurate. I hope you guys found this video extremely helpful. If you know anybody that could benefit from this information, definitely make sure to share this video with them. We are all about empowering you with knowledge. So the more people that can benefit from this video, the more people we want watching this video. If you like this video, please make sure to hit the thumbs icon. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to subscribe and hit on the notification bell for more immigration updates. Bye!